So this video is kind of going to be like watching home movies. I didn't know how to cut together this video, so I decided I'd just watch the clips and then narrate over them. So this video is about my trip earlier this year to Mount Kilimanjaro. So yeah, this is my friend Mike, who I'd played tennis with in college, and his wife Sarah. So it's like a 4-hour bus ride, I think, to go from our hotel, which was in Moshi, to where we picked up food, and we'd pick up porters along the way as we were driving. And then we got to the Londerossi gate here and checked in and had some lunch. And then we drove from the Londerossi gate like another hour to the Lemosho trailhead. We did the 9-day Lemosho route, which includes 2 days at the hotel and like 7 days on the mountain. There were 5 Americans in our group, 1 Canadian, and 2 South Africans. The first part of the hiking was like in a kind of a rainforest or forest area.
You don't make for a good shot when you're walking by the camera.
There were monkeys in the trees. They kind of look like skunks, but like big skunks, but they're monkeys. So after about 2 hours of hiking on the first day, we got to camp, which ended up being a lot more congested than I thought it would be. The first camp is called MKUBWA camp. And then at every camp, we'd have to sign in when we got there. We had the choice of either having a one-person tent, or you could have a 2-person tent, buddy up with somebody else. Except the one-person tents and the 2-person tents were all the same size. So everybody except for Mike and Sarah had a 1-person tent, which is definitely the way to go. So this is our guide, Yahoo. He led the second day, and actually most of the days he led the climb. At the beginning of every day, we did a recap of the previous day.
Hey guys!
Day 1 complete?
Mike. Don't you have to have like a clever name, like a catchy name?
What's up, guys? You gotta have a lot of enthusiasm.
Coming at you live from the mountain of Kilimanjaro.
Well, what was the camp called? Did you?
MKUBWA.
Yeah.
It means big tree.
Yep, big tree is what he was saying.
There were lots of big trees there. I'm not sure which one was the big tree though.
So what'd you think of day 1 hike? We hiked for 2 hours, went what, 5 kilometers?
Yep. It was pretty uphill.
Yeah.
It was harder than I was expecting. We're at about 9,000 feet elevation now. We're gonna make it up to almost 13,000 today.
Yeah, day 2, big day.
Yeah, 9 hours, 10 hours, probably take us more than 9.
Yeah.
Had a good night's sleep, had some monkeys mating or chanting or something at about 2 in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very loud.
They vibrating John's tent.
Yeah.
Then had a good breakfast this morning. We had egg, sausage, some type of porridge.
You had eggs?
Yeah, you left.
Oh, son of a...
I grabbed the sausage for you, and then I ate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, just going poly today.
Poly. Alright, we'll check back in 4 hours.
And I'm filming this video like 8 months later, so all of this information is fuzzy. So thankfully I have these recaps to remind me of what we did. Yeah, day 2 was like the longest day, besides maybe the summit day of the hike. It was like a 10-hour day. So we'd stop like every hour or hour and a half for a break, get some food, enjoy the scenery.
So that's our first view of the peak. Just finally came into view after going up over a couple of ridges. But apparently it's still kind of shielded in the clouds.
So this is SHIRA 1 camp. Some groups stop and actually camp out here, but we just stopped for lunch and continued on. This was the worst part of this trip. Everything was great, besides this. The food was fantastic the entire trip. We had like a prepackaged lunch here, but most of the time we had spaghetti or some sort of curry type of dish. It was good.
All right.
Look at those Karens.
I was vastly underprepared, but thankfully Mike and Sarah had a spare poncho that they let me borrow.
Oh, your garment?
Mine is below 10%.
I know how to do, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, I won't ruin your video.
No, this.
Humble brag montage.
This is good. That's gonna be the third cut in the video.
I'm just going to leave that part in there without any sort of context.
Oh, you didn't tell me how fly I looked in these glasses with the mustache.
Sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, sugar.
Yep. What'd you think of today's climb? Long day, for sure.
Yeah, it was a long day, but it was good.
Yeah, but total, how long were we? 9 hours?
Yep.
I
No,
think
it was
9.
like 8:52.
I guess if you don't count the lunch breaks, yeah, it's probably a little shorter.
But like 17 kilometers, I believe.
Yeah, I had a little longer, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, we got to see the mountain today.
Yep, for the first time.
Yeah.
That was big.
We couldn't see the peak. It was above the clouds, which is cool and intimidating.
What other notable things happened today?
The
We
other-
learned Jan's name was Ian.
Yeah. The other thing I would say about the trek is the terrain was very tough.
Yeah, really
There-
rocky today.
It was probably one of the toughest treks I've ever done. There was a lot of very large boulders that we had to maneuver. It rained for a little bit in the middle.
Oh yeah, a little sprinkle. Not too bad though.
Yeah, but I think that
We got sunburned.
made the ground very wet. Yeah, John got sunburned bad.
You got sunburned.
Mike
I did not get sunburned.
told him probably 4 times put sunscreen on.
Okay, yeah.
No, there's video proof.
This is where he cuts it.
Yep.
We're done.
So
you
now
guys
we
on
are
track?
currently at SHIRA 2.
Yeah, what's our elevation? What did we say? 12,500?
I thought it was 700.
12.7.
Yeah, around there.
Mike carried the lightest bag of the group today. For the majority of the way.
Mike is a smart packer.
Smart packer.
Brandon's excited because he's getting his bag
Brandon's
tomorrow.
waiting
yeah.
on his clothes.
I might actually get all of my stuff tomorrow, which is exciting, which I haven't had since the beginning of this trek because the airline lost it. So that'll be nice.
Yeah. Did you break it?
No, I'm trying to open it. It was stripped. Sarah's already in. She's like, big pulled in. She's like, I need to go in.
So, for the first time, we can see the mountain right behind us.
The porters, after every morning, would pack up camp, and we would start hiking, and then they would carrying 30 to 50 pounds of weight on their back come running past us, and then they'd get to camp and have camp set up by usually by the time we got there. They were superhuman.
So we started like right here.
I think
This
you can
morning.
still see the roof.
Yep. Yeah, right about
That green
here.
roof.
Gone 1.8 miles and gained up to 14,000 feet. Today we are going from SHIRA camp to,
SHIRA 2.
oh sorry, SHIRA 2 to Lava Tower.
It's a elevation acclimatization.
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 Climatization.
What?
Climatization.
Acclimatization.
Just Google that word and have a Google say it.
Acclimatization.
We're at Lava Tower camp at 15,000 feet. This is Lava Tower. Update time. So now we begin our 2-hour trek to BARANCO camp.
About 2 hours.
2 miles, 2 hours.
Yeah. Lunch was delicious.
Yes, lunch was very delicious. What did we have? Spaghetti and with vegetables.
Veggies.
John Robo proved he has the highest IQ of the group. By
By conversion.
We yet again talked about conversions for I think 20th time.
But we now got it settled. There are 3.28 feet per meter.
You guys now owe me $1 every time you talk about it.
There's a pretty good drizzle coming down now.
This is my favorite camp out of all of them. The view of the mountain was great, and then also of this valley.
Big traffic jam of people.
Trying to be strong. Tell him you're a hiker, you're not skier.
We've hit the traffic jam. Day 3 recap.
We are currently standing on BARAFU wall. Didn't say that right, but close enough.
We're about sitting in a traffic jam. But we need to do a day 3 recap.
Oh.
What do we do day 3? We said SHIRA 2 camp.
Yep.
SHIRA 2 camp to Lava Tower, which was a gain. We went up from what, 12,000 to 15,000 feet. We ate lunch there for an hour or two, right? And then came back
Down to
BARANCO camp.
Yep. Yeah, and then just had dinner there.
This was a huge traffic jam. We probably spent like an hour and a half just standing around. It was the most technical part of this climb, but nothing crazy.
So this is where we are.
And I'm not even like hitting it that much.
That is where we're trying to go. Right up there.
The porters, in order to get up this part of the wall quicker, would kind of create their own route off path, which looked extremely sketchy, especially considering how much weight they were carrying with them.
Zoom in on his booty.
Ask and ye shall receive.
That's all you're gonna see.
Little POV action. No, we got some POV action. His phone's not that nice, even if I break it. Oh, you care about me? Thanks, babe. Good stumble, John. Way to sell it. Making it look tough.
So this was a really cool part once we got to the top of the wall. I don't know why I don't have more footage of it, but it was like, you know, you were above the clouds and they kind of came rolling in. This is a good picture though.
So our tents are right here. We thought we were done, but we gotta go through this, down through this valley, and back up. Pretty steep to the top.
POV. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad throw.
I brought a Frisbee, which was a pretty good idea. You know, it packs small and it's fun to play with at camp. But then I threw it too far once.
We were just playing with the Frisbee. I think I might have just thrown it off the cliff. Oh, no, but it's still there. Okay, good. Day 4 recap.
We went up Baranco wall. Took way longer than it should have.
A lot of traffic,
Lots of traffic.
but pretty technical climb.
Got to the top of that and we were like on top of the clouds, which was pretty cool. And then hiked another 2 or so hours.
Yeah, we kind of dipped into a valley a little bit, came back up.
Oh yeah, there was a big climb at the very end.
And then, yeah, what was that valley called? Karanga Valley.
It's right after.
Oh, okay. The
That
Karanga
was the
Valley.
one that we did the echo in?
Yep.
Oh, that was on with the
We thought we were very close to the end, but had to dip down into the Karanga Valley and then back up. Very steep climbing.
People's spirits are high, maybe a little bit lower than before. We can see the finish line. Yeah, the views of the peaks have been really good. both last night and this morning.
So BARAFU camp was going to be our camp for the night, but we went ahead and hiked further up higher to get acclimated to the elevation.
Yeah, we just got to the peak of our acclimatization hike. Let me show you where we started today. So we started way down here today, and then we hiked all along this trail up to this big hill, up that hill, and then there's our base camp right there. And then we kept on climbing about 200 meters up here for acclimatization hike. Acclimatization, how do you say it? Day 5 recap. Where did we start? What was the base camp or the camp called that we started at?
KARANGA.
KARANGA camp.
Yeah.
And now we're at BARAFU.
Yes.
BARAFU camp.
Also known as base camp.
Short hike today.
It was supposed to be.
You think it was short?
Not really.
How long did it take us? 3 hours?
Well, we did the acclimatization as well.
Oh yeah, that's
so
what
it was like
short,
all
yeah.
as one in my mind. Acclimatization.
Acclimatization.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're at base camp. It's been snowing on and off at base camp.
And we'll wake up at midnight tonight to go to the summit.
Yeah.
A 6 or 7 or 8 hour hike.
Yeah, I think 7. If we do it at 7, we'll be moving fast.
Yeah.
So you can see in this shot here, Sarah started getting sick a couple days ago and then was feeling really sick on this day. I wasn't sure if she was actually going to make the hike to the summit.
Day 6, starting our summit day, midnight.
Oh, and it was very crowded. Yeah, very crowded. Sarah wasn't feeling good at all, so she kind of set the pace at the front with our guide Side. And yeah, it was a rough go. I didn't realize how much the lack of oxygen would affect me. Oh, it was very cold in the middle of the night as well. This was the first time I had all of the clothes, you know, my big winter jacket that I had brought. This was the first time I finally wore it.
Mike, can we get a 4-hour update?
No.
Update at the summit. So after hiking for 5.5 hours, getting up to 18,600 feet, we finally got to Stella's Point, which is over here somewhere. I'd go and show you, but I'm crazy tired. Next point is onto UHURU Peak, which is only like 100 meters higher. We're working our way to UHURU Peak with the sun rising in the background. Yeah, that works. How do you feel? Yeah, it wasn't worth it. You really soldiered on there. That was pretty impressive. Mike Huff, you just summited Kilimanjaro. What are you gonna do next?
Go down and try. Yeah,
Going to
sleep,
Disneyland.
take
Come
a shower, and have a nice big juicy cheeseburger.
Yeah, cheeseburger. Hey. Yahoo!
Hello.
How many times is this for you?
179.
Yeah, nothing to it. Making it look easy. Ian, how do you feel? Bruising, yeah.
You're probably just gonna have to cut that off.
That should be your new look. You should dye it
And the
white like that.
eyelashes.
Ian brought a beer to the summit. Oh, perfect. Not even frozen. All right. Take a sip. I'm giving it peer pressure really easily.
To Tanzania! Still going, but I don't have a good angle anymore.
Okay. Big group photo? Day 6 recap. We woke up at midnight to start our summit attempt.
Well, we woke up at 11. We left at midnight.
Woke up at 11, left at midnight. Night started off cold, got very cold as we got to the summit, putting on all the layers.
It was very slow. Lots of people
pole.
on the mountain. Lots of headlamps.
Sarah was not feeling well at all, but
No.
decided to try it, set the pace for our group.
Had to take 5, maybe 6 stops.
Yeah, but the pace overall was go.
Yeah. The crazy thing was how steep it was.
Yeah, it's very steep.
Steepest part of the mountain that we did.
Lots of switchbacks. A lot tougher than I was expecting, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then towards the end, like as we got close to the summit, basically a snowstorm came through.
What was our? We think we started around 15,500, went up to 19,500,
19,800, I think is the summit peak.
which was a big shift in altitude.
Yeah. But we all made it?
Everyone made it. Sarah looked miserable the entire time, but was able to hang on. Got to the summit, grabbed our pictures, and got back down.
Took a nap, and then we've been making our way down the mountain ever since.
Overall, I'd say an incredible experience.
Agreed.
I've never done anything anywhere close to this.
Yeah, Sarah and I both said this is probably the hardest thing we've ever done.
Yeah, I was gonna say the summit was, we'd say what, probably equivalent to at least running a marathon.
Yeah, I'd say more so for me.
Yeah, it was, the heart was going like 130 beats per minute the entire way up. It was, you know, even though we were just shuffling along. Anything else?
No.
All right, until the next adventure.
Wageni wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata. Pole pole, hakuna matata. Pole, hakuna matata. Kupika SHIRA, hakuna matata. Jana BARANCO, hakuna matata. Ukirukia KARANGA, hakuna matata. Ukiingia BARAFU, hakuna matata. Wageni sanya sabiti, hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana wageni.